Coach, it felt like third inning, Jarangelo maybe kind of on fumes. He ends up going 7. I mean, it didn't feel like he had his best up, but he kind of just grinded through it. What did you see from him, and what did you think of his performance?
I thought he had a great performance. I saw the same thing. And even in the 6th, you know, Park really challenged him to go back out in the 7 because he was only like at 83 pitches right-handed. But it was hot today and everything else. But I think that's where the Lowe's really growing. That competitive piece, holding the ball, going late in the games. Park went out to take him out. He didn't want to come out, which was good to see. Where he's come from last year to this year is such a growing process for him. Not just the stuff. It's more the maturity of competing and being a tough SEC pitcher.
Was it the blister or a contact issue when he came out?
It was a contact. So he had a contact. He was sweating like crazy. I felt, you know, I think it's hot in Curacao. Does anybody know? Like, felt like it was the hottest day ever. Some of my guys were monkeying in our dugout, and I told them it was 82. You know, you get a regional or super regional, it's 100. So we're going to have to get used to the heat.
Robbie, you talked last night about this lineup and how you like having guys in their spots so they can get comfortable, and it really seems like that's starting to happen with this offense. You had 3 hits from Logan today. It's just getting tougher to get through this lineup. What are you seeing from them right now that's making them so successful top to bottom?
In the last 2 weeks, I think you've seen Amani have some big days, Logan have some big days, and Hunter has some big days. And everybody else has been pretty steady in there. Ethan Pulliam's jumped in and given us some really good at-bats. So I think you're getting just a little more from everybody. Johnny does this. It's amazing. Johnny has a big at-bat once or twice a game, and then maybe a bad at-bat. But he's able to help the lineup, and usually with runners in scoring position.
Benjamin.
Another big day for Rashawn. He's sort of almost flying under the radar here with just everything that he can do. What do you like, just what he brings to this lineup in the 2 holes, sort of always in the middle of everything?
What I like about David Mershon is he brings the same thing every day. There is, I mean, I never lay my head on my pillow and not think about what's David Mershon doing. He is a true baseball rat. He loves the game. He plays it, I mean, so hard. It doesn't matter if we're winning, losing. He's playing good. He's playing bad. You get the same thing from that kid every day, and he's a really good player.
John?
I noticed you kind of met with your guys in the dugout. I think it was like the 4th inning. It looked like pretty animated in there, and they ran out, obviously, with, you know, looked pretty pumped up. What was that?
We're just showing some frustration and bad body language. I mean, we're up 3-1. We won the first game of the series. Like, they don't get to see anything. You know, they shouldn't see any frustration from us or anything like that. And it was from a couple guys that are really good players who weren't probably having as much success as they wanted. And it's about us winning games, and so we have to be able to put that aside and play the game just a little more poker face, maybe.
Steph?
Look at the pitching, you know, how much it's improved this season, especially in SEC play. I mean, I think everyone expected it to get a little bit better. Did you have an idea that, you know, with a lot of these guys clicking, that it could have a chance to be this big of a jump?
Well, it's made a big jump, no doubt, and Justin and the pitchers and the staff have done a great job. But we did have a feeling like we had some talented guys. I think last year we got beat up a lot about, hey, we didn't take enough guys out of the portal. But our guys were better than what was in the portal, you know, a lot of them. And I just felt like that we had to get them playing good baseball. And I think Park's done that and created an identity of toughness and with that pitching staff that they've done a really good job. But I really did, when you look up at some of the talent we had, you know, like a Jarangelo. You know, the day Justin got hired, the next day we were in Miami, being with Jarangelo and his family and letting him meet Park, and because you knew how great he could be, you know. So.
Are you going to start campaigning for another Assistant of the Year award?
No, God, no, I don't know about that. So we'll see. But he's done an amazing job with that pitching staff. He's done a really good job.
Steve?
So Ethan on the bunt, 2 things. Number 1, update on him, but number 2, they initially called that safe, like that he didn't attempt, and then they came back and said that it was a foul ball. And what was the explanation on that?
They number 1, Ethan's fine. We had an X-ray, no breaks, no concussion, no laceration, just a knot. He's got, you know, a little bit of swelling. Yeah, they said he foul tipped it, and we thought he foul tipped it too. The good thing for us, he foul tipped it, hit the helmet, then it hit him. So there was some things that took the velocity off. But we had one last week when we played it. Ball went straight into the face, and poor kid had a fracture of the face. So he's fine. Yeah, and that's what they called on that one. So but they did call the foul tip.
Robbie?
It's been I think the last couple of years you mentioned it a few times that your teams hadn't allowed the fans to really get involved in ball games, and you're playing some meaningful games now late in the season this year. How's that feel to kind of get that back and allow this atmosphere to kind of do its job and do what
You know,
it's
the funny thing is, like, I can remember sitting there last year, the last game of the year, and the place was packed. Like, we just, but getting him into the game and having that piece that really, you know, the dude effect, I guess we've always talked about, it's a big deal. And we talked about it this week. This is our house, and people are coming here to play us, and we're going to be packed, and our town lives for this. You know, I think that's a big piece. So it's been fun, but you got to get them into it too. You got to get a hit, you got to make a play, you got to do something to get the crowd into it, and I think they've done a nice job with that.
Sammy.
2 big wins back-to-back against the SEC cross-state rivals. How does this feel, and what does it mean to you guys going into the 3rd game tomorrow?
Well, the 3rd game is huge. I just challenged the team that, you know, somebody, you know, you're fighting for a regional, to host one, you know, and you're fighting against Alabama. And, you know, you win one, they win one, and the extra one goes to the home team. Nobody really sees a big difference. And like I told the team, you have to, you know, you win all 3. You know, you leave no doubt. And it's good to win them, but in this league, you're just chasing the next one. And the next one's 15, which is a big number in this league. So for us to jump out there and get one tomorrow is huge.
Steph.
See Johnny get a hit today, walked as well. We see him a lot of times, he gets kind of wider in his stance, I guess.
It's a
what's
2-strike.
Is that just him? Is that something you guys work with? Or?
No, we get everybody a little bit wider. He kind of goes a lot wider, and then he calls it the lightsaber when he lays his thing down, which is pretty good for Star Wars Day. So they said he was the right guy for Star Wars, but if you notice him, he lays it down. He calls it his lightsaber, and he's got some real personality. He sent a text to the whole team this morning. I can't read it to you, might be inappropriate, but he's one of the alphas of this team, man. He's a fun kid to coach.
Robbie.
Do you guys talk about the prospects of hosting? Like, how far out do you talk about that stuff, and is that a big topic?
No, we've talked about it. That's the major goal in this whole program, is for us at the end of the year to host. The major goal is to go to Omaha, but we all know the percentages of when you host, so that's something that's out there all the time. And I just don't want them to feel satisfied. You know, oh, we had a weekend. Well, we got 2 out of 3. No, it's every one as you're building a resume, and that's what, you know, Wednesday night was a big one for us. That was a lot of the motivation, not just playing Ole Miss, but you know, as we win more games, we've given ourselves a chance in that possibility, and we control that. We can play well through the end here. We can host, and I think that's a big thing for us.
Logan, what's going on with you these days? All of a sudden you find the long ball and you hit the big shot in Nashville, coming here with an Oppo Taco today. I mean, obviously you're starting to see the baseball a little better.
Yeah, just it's been a rough year, obviously, but just keep chugging along, keep working, and good things will happen.
Steph.
Durangelo, coach was talking about, you know, what a goal it was for you this year to kind of get these extended outings, go deeper into games. How big was it for you there, you know, after Coach Parker comes out to talk to you to, you know, stay in and get that final outing and go 7 innings?
Oh, he came out there, and he was like, I think we go into TD here. I was like, I'm not coming out. So I don't know if you like it or not. I'm not coming out.
John.
Why were you so determined to stay in the game there? What does it kind of say about you as a competitor?
I mean, I'm already in the game, so I just didn't want to come out. I feel like I can throw 9 innings, so I think I didn't have like my best stuff today, but I still batted through it. So I think it's even better to help the team get more outs that I can, so we don't have to go deep in the bullpen.
Benjamin.
Yeah, what is that like for you mentally when you know you don't have your best stuff? You go through a little bit of a rough patch there in the 3rd, but you're able to fight through it and, you know, still give your team a lot of length. What is that like for you mentally when you know you have to sort of battle through with you know, since without your best?
I mean, I didn't have my best stuff, but the best thing is, I mean, I have a heavy fastball, so I think sometimes I can be the hitter with my fastball. So just attack them and like on the corners, and I think I can get a lot of outs, especially with these like offensive player. You can just gotta move the ball around a little bit, and you can get a lot of outs, especially like with your fastball. You don't have to throw a lot of breaking ball, but you can get them out with a fastball.
Bobby.
Logan, it's getting more and more difficult to get through this lineup 1 through 9. What are you seeing from your teammates right now, and how locked in do you feel like you guys are at this point?
Well, we call it the machine. So once the machine gets rolling, we just keep going and just keep working hard. I mean, Goat's nonstop working with us, nonstop. I mean, he just keeps going and keeps working with us. So we call it the machine.
Steve.
Logan, last year, any ball hit to the left side, everybody kind of held their breath. And then you look up now, scoring on the weekend, you guys are 4th in the country in fielding percentage. Can you talk a little bit about how much pride you guys take in your defense and how much you work to not give outs away?
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to look at the dudes on the mound. They're competing their tail off, and they're really good. So, us playing really good defense makes them even better, and we're really hard to beat when we're doing that. But we just got to keep working and keep defending really well.
Stefan.
Durangelo, coach was saying that the day after Justin Parker was hired, they went down to visit you right away. I guess number one, what did that mean to you that was such a priority for the staff, and number two, what kind of stood out to you the first time you kind of spoke with Coach Parker?
The first time, I haven't even it was my first time meeting him, but I haven't even talked to him like that. So it's kind of, because I'm sometimes if I met somebody the first time, I won't be talking too much, but just be here right now and talking to Parker, he helped me a lot, especially with my command, get the fastball down, and I can't say nothing bad about him because he helped me a lot, and it's proven too.
Sokolov.
Kind of going off what we were talking about with the lineup earlier, Logan. I mean, the fact that you guys were able to put up an 8 spot and Dakota and Hunter were combined 0 for 6. I mean, what does that just say about this lineup as a whole?
I mean, obviously Dakota and Hunter are really good, but we also have really good hitters, and we stick to their approach and just try to grind out pitchers and have really good at bats. We're worried about just putting barrel on balls, moving runners, and swinging at strikes and being on time. So that's kind of been our focus, and a lot of the guys are doing it.
Robbie.
Logan, John had asked Chris about a meeting that y'all had in the dugout, I think the 4th inning or something like that, where coach just didn't like the body language or whatever. What's the sense of urgency you feel like with this coaching staff, with you guys, that every SEC game is important? And what was that conversation like with him in the dugout?
Well, yeah, I mean, every SEC game is important. Every win matters, and Alabama's a really good team. They're a really good squad, and I think it was the 4th inning when he came and talked to us, and just keep putting the foot on the pedal and keep going, don't let up, because game of baseball, I mean, you never know. You let up in the game of baseball, they could have put up a 4 or 5 spot, and it's a completely different game. So just keep going, keep putting pressure on them, and keep having good at bats.
Steph.
Logan, for you, it seemed like, I think it was the game before you had to sit out the game against Georgia. You kind of had a couple hits. It seemed like you were trying to find a bit of momentum. Have you felt like over the past few weeks that you were kind of getting to a point where you wanted to be to have days like today?
Yeah, I mean, I always try to put myself in a good mental spot, good confident, and the game's weird. You never know. You can hit the ball right at someone 120 miles an hour, and you can get out. So just keep going, keep pounding, keep working, and good things will happen.